Another attempt at channeling Carlo of the Essassani. I wanted to get his perspective on the great hyperspatial object the dragons were talking about in a previous channeling. Yes, we are present, and hello to you, and good day to you this day of your time. Hello, I am hoping you are doing well. I am here to to answer the request that was given to me, to answer the request about a certain hyperspatial object named to the channel in another, by another entity in another source. We are here, and we will attempt to adjust our pace to find a appropriate way of speaking. We also detect some energy from the previous channeling on the gray residing in the channel at this point, but we are willing to look past that because we have been called here to offer some advice on the hyperspatial object. My name is Carlo of the Cisani. I represent point in our timeline when it has become, in your perspective, let's say, a little fashionable to maintain contact with humans at this point in your timeline, because this point in your timeline is one of very high excitement, and as you know from both our first contact specialists and other members of a civilization that have contacted you at other points, you um, you have established a very great and clear link to our civilization, and you have approached our way of thinking in a way that has made it very easy for many people to attach to our vibration, and your vibration is coming into alignment with our vibration. And remember, we were part of the hybrid program, and so we were connected to your DNA, and to a large extent still is. We also know that we are connected to our um, future versions of ourselves in through your civilization, and the so-called Shekani have come through, and they have contacted you, and they represent another stage of our evolution. Well, returning to the topic of the hyperspatial object, this hyperspatial object is constructed like everything else from a basic energetic fundamental matter, but however, you must understand how you construct things in hyperspace. You do it with attention, but attention is not what you imagine, a sort of establishing of a space wherein you fill in materials. It is instead a creative force that brings things into creation. Understand that when you are shifting through the infinite multiverse and selecting what reality you want to experience through your vibration, what is going on is that you are actually creating these things with your attention, attention being the one and only currency available to you as a creator in your endeavor to um, play this game of creation that you have found it so enjoyable to involve yourselves in, that you are now here experiencing this as a great part of your highest joy and excitement. So you are following wherever you want to go, and you can go this way, but understand in hyperspace the framework of navigation is even freer, and therefore you can go in many directions, and not even just four, but many other directions, as you may know from your spherical structures, which is only a visual way to realize it. So the hyperspatial object is the closest thing you can come to it in a physical representation in your current manifested reality is to think of your DNA structure. Your DNA structure is a two-stranded helix, but it is constantly evolving with its interaction with other environments, with its interaction with certain energetic currents running about your organism. And these energetic currents are what, in a sense, creates reality. You know that there are many different natural forces, but these natural forces are only different aspects of the same force, and this force is only a force when it is split into two, and these two are divided in a juxtaposition, and this juxtaposition is moving in a tense direction. This is the only way to create anything. You start with nothing, then you split it into two, and then you put these two together in a harmonious sort of game, and then you can continue with this spiraling game onwards and onwards, establishing ever more links to this process of the two. This is a process that is the channel is associating, and we are commenting now. That is also established in your I Ching, which is by far the oldest technology. Um, Available to humans at this present point. We would advise you to ask other entities who are more knowledgeable in this field, but we can tell you that the I Ching is very old, and its binary system has been used to, has been with some sort of, let us say, guidance from your higher most selves. It has been used to create the binary systems that now run your processes um, and different types of electronic contraptions that have tied your globe together in new and very different experience that you have never seen before. And we are most happy to see this type of continuation continue in your world. So moving back to the I Ching, what is basically unfolded here is the notion that in carbon-based life there are 64 different base type of frequencies that can resonate and interchange, and all these frequencies have certain energies and certain sub-energies that can be divided into a hexagram, which is very insightful, and this hexagram can be moved about, and the hyperspatial object is very much constructed in the same way. However, it is much more complex, and you may relate it to your modern architecture, where every section is in some way related to the whole, but not observable as a whole, but more as a subset of the structure. This type of multifaceted harmony you have been experimenting with aesthetically, and with great results. For instance, think of modern cities such as Rotterdam, which have in many interesting ways experienced it with shapes and sizes that are new to humankind, and we very much enjoy this playfulness of your interaction with matter. And as I may have stressed, I am a material specialist, and so I truly enjoy seeing you manipulate shapes and sizes, colors, and materials, and fold them into different compositions. This is a very joyous experience, but the hyperspatial object is more one of mental energy, and this mental energy will be used to create other new different type of orders and entities that will sprout again new and other systems. Know that we are but one of the hybrid children sprouting from your DNA, and there will be many more, and many more from us, and many more from them, and many more from many more, and many more from many other races, just as you are in one way a hybrid sense, but in another way a very purebred hominid of this planet that has been altered in different locations, but have a very regional makeup. And if you observe the differences between humankind and your um, higher primates, such as gorillas or chimpanzees, they are um, very far apart from you in a great many ways. For instance, in the way they construct their jawline, their muscular makeup, their skeletal frames, the amount of hormones they generate, and of course the brain side and the amount of electricity they're able to conduct. You have always marveled at this difference between you and the animal kingdom, and it seems to be an intuitive conclusion that you always come to, and it is because what is in humankind is truly different. Take, for instance, the very prolonged neoteny of the human species, where childlike characters are carried way into the second decade of human life, and then you spend a great deal of time coming to terms with it, and then you procreate, and then you work some, and then you die. But you must realize it would be much better for you to come into this very much more sense of overflowing creative, resourceful joy. Notice that there is so much of you to give and to create when you realize that and bring yourselves into these higher harmonies that are always wishing to resonate with you. And this is a way the channeling process works with human beings, is to vibrationally remind them about many of their greater aspects and characteristics. And so we would say that the hyperspatial object, you are contributing to it with every thought you think, with every notion you carry, with every feeling you think. Notice that everything humankind is doing is a great part of the whole, and is furthering the understanding of the great divine Godhead, or the total, or the all, which is, of course, absolutely conscious of everything at all times, but at the same time is, of course, also totally unconscious, in the sense that it allows total free will and blindness and forgetfulness to play out in the universe for its own pleasure and benefit. And so we will remind you that the joy of this is very real, and you can always find your highest excitement by going to the heart space and listening to the inner callings. And it may be unpleasant for you if there is something blocking up, but notice that the unpleasantness is only there as a contrast to the already very pleasant flow of life force, or divine energy, or prana, or whatever you may prefer to call it, with in the system that you choose to operate from and select your permission slips from. You may choose to do this, but we offer you that you find your way into the heart, and notice that there are a great many deals of beings always ready there to contact and support you and bring you up and lift you up and enjoy your presence. And we are only one of the species that are willing to contact you and help you at this time. And you are very much able to approach you. We are not of an angelic nature, but you may notice that our vibration is very close to yours, much like the angels, and therefore we are very much willing to lend our assistance, and we are also gaining much from this, and we are enjoying experiencing human incarnation at this present time. And we wish you the most fortunate of all times and all days at this present moment. Should you ever want to talk to us, you are welcome to call the Essassani with your heart lifeline. There is a vibration there ready to rotate, and then please put it in action, and we will be there to answer your questions. May you find happiness and love where you are at this present moment, dear, dear, dear listener human. Goodbye for now.